Welcome, everyone. This is Omni Talk Retail coming to you live from BigCommerce and Avalara's Summer Camp Outdoor Retail After Party in Salt Lake City. I'm Chris Walton.
And I'm Anne Mezzenga.
And today we have the pleasure of being joined by BigCommerce's Nate Turner and Avalara's Travis Taylor. Welcome, both of you, to Omni Talk.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We're excited that you are both having us here. It's such an incredible event. I'd love for you to give our listeners at home a little bit of background on each of your companies and about yourselves. Let's start with you, Travis.
Okay. Avalara is one of the, if not the premium tax providers, tax compliance software companies in the world. And whatever business you're in, wherever you're doing business, we're there to help you.
That's true. Everybody has a tax issue they need dealt with.
They do. I mean, our big thing is to say it's Avalara.
Yes.
In other words, we relax you.
Yes.
So, and that's the big thing, right? It's a delicate subject, and you need to do it right, because the last thing you want is a big bad audit, right? And so it's a big piece. Myself, I'm a strategic partner manager. So BigCommerce is one of my big accounts that I work with.
You and Nate are buddies.
We are, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lockstep.
All right.
But so
Lockstep, good Canadian word drop there too.
Yeah,
by the
I was
way,
gonna
Travis.
say, yeah. And if you've picked up my accent, I am from the West Coast, so I'm from Vancouver, and I do like to be out and about in my boat. So.
I love it. I love it. Nate, let's hear about you and about BigCommerce.
Yeah, you bet. Nate Turner. So I've been at BigCommerce now for almost 12 years, and we're only a 15-year-old company, so it's been a journey. BigCommerce, BigCommerce is one of the largest e-commerce software platforms really in the market. Identifying the SaaS space, so software as a service, just helping brands of every shape, size, flavor, you name it. We work with it, but really making a name for ourselves in the mid-market enterprise space, predominantly catering to both B2B, B2C, kind of hybrid business models, and a number of different verticals and industries.
So what did you do before BigCommerce, Nate?
I graduated college.
Oh wow!
So,
oh man!
We love talking to people. This is been consistent with the last few shows that we've been at, and it's so cool to hear. Like, you've seen so much, I'm sure, in your 12 years.
I have, yeah. Not literally. I did have about 18 months before in between where I started my journey, but. Yeah, when I first started BigCommerce, we were really just catering to micro businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call them small businesses yet.
Right, at that time, yeah.
Yeah, hobbyists and people just kind of exploring e-commerce. And over those 12 years, we really scaled up and skated up market. And now we're catering for some of the biggest brands on the internet.
Yeah, right. So Travis, I got to ask you then, why do you guys partner together? And what benefits are there for retailers when you guys partner together specifically?
I mean, it's not just retailers. It's B2B companies as well. If you're selling through a distribution channel, but I mean, you think about it in the shopping cart, right? What do you want to have done? You want to have tax done right? The last thing that somebody buying something in a shopping cart wants is to have that price change by the time they go and pay for it. Right. It's
great
frustrating. And so you want to have that piece done, but it's all the back engine pieces as well, the compliance aspect, so the filing of returns, the business licenses that you need to set up companies in different areas of the world. How are you going to ship things from U.S. to England or vice versa, right? There's a lot of rules in there that most merchants don't know or don't really want to be able to manage. And so we're doing this, we're automating it for people, making it easy, right? And that's a really big piece of what we do.
Yeah, I can't think of anything less that I'd want to do as a merchant. As a former merchant, I can't tell you anything less I'd want to do than do what you just described.
Well, that's it. You say tax to most people, and I mean, it's not a great pickup line at a bar. I can tell you that for sure. What do you do? I work for a tax compliance company. I mean, next to that is, it's IRS.
I think you gotta open.
I'm out on parole, I think is next, right?
Yeah.
Right. Although that could be sexy for some people.
I think you need to open with the wacky tax facts. I think that's your cocktail trick.
It probably is now.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I will. But yeah,
right.
that's the thing. It's the 13,000 tax jurisdictions or over that in the U.S.
So crazy.
I come from Canada. We've got 2 or 3. So
is that right, really?
Yeah, that's very basic, right? But that's the difference. But then there's a whole bunch of rules about importing and exporting. Are you shipping from within the country or out of the country? all of that. And I mean, and that's where it ties into BigCommerce, because they're the storefront. They're everything to the consumer. We're just making sure for the merchant and the vendors and behind that it's all working correctly, and they don't have to worry about stuff when somebody knocks on the door.
Got it.
Well, Nate, you selected Avalara as your BigCommerce Partner of the Year. Tell us a little bit about why that integration is so important from BigCommerce's side.
Yeah, that's a great question. Now, the interesting thing about BigCommerce is we touch virtually every aspect of a business's operations, whether it's payments, shipping, taxes, marketing, order management, customer management. Like, our merchants have a lot of things to worry about, right? So and there's always going to be a plethora of options in the space, and who you can leverage in your tech stack to really help achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, right? And again, every business is unique in some way, shape, or form. And when you're a BigCommerce, you have an open ecosystem. Merchants have many options, even when it comes to taxes. But what we've noticed is that the vast majority of folks go to Avalara for this particular element of their business, because they are kind of the de facto, the name in the industry that we know that we can rely on. It's like that tool that, like you guys said, like, it's not something you regularly want to work with or think about every day. So when you can just install a tool that's going to come with that level of subject matter expertise and functionality that's ahead of the curve, so you don't have to worry about that. That's just that one less thing. So me as a business owner, I can continue thinking about what are my growth initiatives, like what's going to help me get to the next phase of my business growth, because I know that they have me covered on that front. Check that box and move on. So.
Which is a big box to check. I mean, a big box when you're, especially a small business. You
Absolutely.
need somebody monitoring that for you.
Whether you're small business, medium biz, or a large biz, I mean, it's a big box. It's a big part of what you do. And, you know, whether you're selling, like I said before, through distributors or you're selling to a consumer, there's certain things that they expect to be done, whether it's tax exemption, it's VAT in England, it's, you know, wherever you are, there's a rule, there's a nuance that, you know, you may or may not know about. And that's where we come in.
Yeah, man, this party's getting hot, Ann. Can you hear that band in the background?
Oh, yeah.
Jamming back there, everybody. But, all right, Travis, so one of the most often heard expressions in our work is creating a seamless customer experience. Probably gets thrown out there too much.
Yeah.
But if I put that lens on this conversation, you've talked about this a little bit already. How does tax play into creating a seamless experience? How does good tax execution play into that?
Yeah, I mean, from a consumer perspective, it's that expectation, right? That, you know, they want to get the product at their door. They want to pay what they were told they're going to pay. I mean, there's nothing worse, and I just had it happen to me the other day, where I bought something from a U.S. vendor, merchant, and they shipped it to me, and I then get another email saying that I owe duties and taxes. And I'm like, well, it was $100, now it's $125. And I'm like, oh, wow. Right, so these are the things.
That's not seamless.
No, that's not seamless, and these are the things that we take care of through our integration with BigCommerce, so that, you know, the merchant's getting everything collected for and accounted for, but the customer is getting that really good experience, right? They're not getting that second and third email telling them they owe something, right?
That's terrible.
It is, because now, and, you know, what am I going to do with it? Like, I don't want it, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
I can't even believe that happens. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a pretty big hurdle, Travis, but are there any other things that, like, major hurdles that retailers or brands or B2B businesses are struggling
it's
with?
that calculation in the shopping cart, right? It's like tax rules. You know, if you've got 13,000 jurisdictions, even if you're just selling in the U.S. and you've got 13,000 jurisdictions to worry about, one rule changes. Are you going to know about it?
Right.
No. One tax rate changes, but we do.
Most people
so
do not.
Everything happens automatically, right? And puts you at ease as a merchant, and again, helps your customer experience.
Yeah.
So.
The word I always come up with whenever I talk to you guys is like, it's factorially complex. And it gets more factorially complex every single year across every single jurisdiction.
Not even year, right? Like, I mean, this is happening for businesses monthly.
Yeah, I want to throw, like, I think last year there was like 12,000 tax changes, you know, code changes. It's just like these numbers. So if you have a small business and you're selling in, you know, more than 10 states, like, how do you keep up with them all?
Yeah.
Right. So it's one of the things that we think about when we're working with like a new prospect or somebody on the platform is future proofing, right? Because where you're at now is not necessarily where you want to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're incorporating multiple storefronts, multiple geographies,
Yep.
you're going to start selling direct to consumer. Now we're going to sell wholesale. We're going to go B2B. That's an evolution from an operational standpoint that like you just don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And there's a lot of risk in that. So that's why you have to kind of place your bets and partner with the subject matter experts that are going to kind of take you to that next level as seamlessly as possible in a way that's cost effective, right? And that lets you sleep at night. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like you're doing it right.
And one of the advantages of going with a partner like BigCommerce who's got these integrations already built in, it's like one less thing for you to worry about. You got every base covered.
Exactly.
That's a great point to end on too, I think,
Yes.
man. You know, like, 'cause the job of every entrepreneur is really to reduce your risk.
Yep.
Reduce
And
risk.
I thought you called that out beautifully, and that's exactly why we're having this conversation. So that was great, you guys. Hey, if people are watching this and they want to get in touch with either one of you, learn more, what's the best way for them to do that, Travis?
Do we do emails here? Or?
Yes,
Yeah?
sure.
All right. I guess my first name dot last name, so travis.taylor@avalara.com is probably the best and speediest way to get a hold of me. Or, through the BigCommerce team as well. So if you're a BigCommerce merchant
Excellent.
and you're not quite sure, reach out to your BigCommerce rep. They'll put you in touch with us, and obviously, our website's full of information, so it's a great place to go as well.
All right.
Awesome.
Nate, how about you?
Yeah, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I look after our mid-market sales team holistically.
Okay.
So we have about 15 people that are looking after the United States and Latin America. All of that can come through me. I'm Nathan Turner, so that's Nathan.Turner at BigCommerce.com. It's the
Amazing.
best way to get in touch with me. And again, we have folks standing by to help kind of solution
standing at
anything.
the phone.
Standing by for sure.
I love it.
Just waiting.
I love
Just
it.
literally right now.
Standing by. Call now.
All right. Well, that wraps us up. Thank you so much to Travis, to Nate. We'll be here the rest of this evening sitting down and talking to, or standing, I guess, and talking to people with the lovely band in the background. So stay tuned, and until our next interview.
Be careful out there.